Alright, hey. I saw this thing on Google, and it's called a snakehead. What the fuck? There is some type of fish out there. It's in the southern parts of the United States, and it's freaking killing everything. I mean, come on! This thing has it has a pattern of like a real snake. It can live on land. It can breathe air. With an organ inside its body. It has sharp rows of teeth. It can crawl on land. I mean, come on. And this thing it's huge. What the hell? My dad and I caught one around 2 weeks ago. We were out fishing in a river, and my dad was the first fish we caught, and I mean, oh my gosh, it was like, I don't think my camera's even big enough to show you. It was like that big. It was so, oh my gosh, it was incredibly huge. I couldn't believe it. I mean, my dad thought we snagged a chunk of python. It looked like a freaking rattlesnake to me. But it was really well behaved though, which is kind of strange. But it's usually supposed to be very quick tempered. This one went open its mouth, so we had no idea what was going on. We were like, what is the hell is this thing? Oh. Anyway, so why the hell is there a freaking fish that gets to overpower everything else? It's like a fucking shark. I mean, like, who the hell says that this type of fucking fish could be the Mary Seuss of everything? By the way, Mary Seuss is a perfect being. I mean, what the hell? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, like, some people keep them as pets and then feed them like live. Well, they have to feed them live stuff, but they like keep them as pets and then they feed them like goldfish and then like sunfish and stuff like that. And these things are fucking tear them to shreds. I'm not kidding with this too. I looked on YouTube and it was so these things are so strong that they can take. There was this one about a little bit bigger than my head, about this big. It was in a fish tank. This guy was keeping it. He put a fish in there about this big, well, a little bit bigger. Put a fish in there about that big, and within 10 seconds, this fucking snakehead tore the fish to shreds. Like, it literally took one bite out of it, shook it a little bit, and it went snapped right in half. Click. And then, like, the thing was still like, the fish was still alive, too. Like, it just took a big chunk out of his butt. What the hell? This is ridiculous. I mean, this thing, they put the fight like it's a bass, but they don't look anything like it. You're supposed to kill them on sight. If my dad knew what it was, we had no idea what it was, but if my dad knew, he would have, he said he would have cut off its head, shot it in the face, or cut through its belly to let it bleed out. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm so glad we didn't know what it was, because that one would be very pretty for me. I can't handle blood that much. Yeah. I have a lot of fishing stories. I remember, I think last year, my grandpa, dad, and I were out fishing on I think it was in a lake or river, and all of a sudden, there was this frenzy. It was like at sunset. There was this frenzy of fish and like pikes and stuff like that. That was like jumping everywhere. And we were right in the middle too. We were like casting and then we were reeling back in, casting again, reeling back in. We caught like 6 fish altogether. Like we kept more than 6 fish. We kept like each time we threw something, there would be one that come back in. So we're all busy, and all of a sudden, there's these 6 layer or 6 foot lures, and it was like a fish and it has 6 little lures, but well, three on each side. But like he casted, my grandpa casted. He got one. He got a fish. He rolled it in, and it was like so. The lure was so deep down its throat, like he had the hardest time getting it out. And he was like, this thing was a pretty good sized fish too. It was pretty strong, and he was trying to get it out with his fingers. And my grandpa was like really, like he's really bold and brave. He's crazy. But he like grabbed it with it. He's like grabbing it right inside the with the hook, and then he was about to pull it out, and the fish like jerked, and the hook went straight inside of his thumb. It was so disgusting. He was bleeding everywhere. The fish was bleeding. We finally got the hook out, and we had to cut the lure uh, off of the line, but the fish had to die. Like it cut its organs so bad. We just had to throw it back out. It cut its throat so bad. So that one died, and we caught a few others, and they died, but they died before we could do anything. So we caught like 3 fish, something like that. But we didn't get to keep them. Too bad. Oh well. Not really big too. So we went back home, and then it was like 7, and my grandpa was like, you know what? I'll just sleep with this on, once it with some water and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell was he thinking? He just go to the hospital. And then right when I got home, I went zooming inside of the house. I'm like, oh my gosh, because my aunt, my mother, my sisters, older and younger, and my grandma were all inside of the living room eating, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. There, guess what grandpa did? And he's like, and they're like, what? And I'm like, he got a hook in his thumb. And they're like, you gotta be kidding me. My mother doesn't handle blood and stuff very well. She can't even handle hearing someone puke, but she'll puke. She can't even handle a dog puking. What a wimp. Anyways, so yeah, and they started freaking out, and like 30 minutes later, he's like, well, around 30 minutes, they take him to the hospital. He's like, oh no, I can sleep with this. It's not that bad. He had to get a tetanus shot, and then he got stitched up and taken out. I wasn't there when they did it, but it was like 45 minutes after they left, they came back. I'm like, oh, gotta go. Yeah, it was pretty bad. That was one of the fishing stories I can probably never forget. And that damn snakehead. Mm. Mm. Just like freak me out. They're so cool. They're so fascinating. Anyways, I want to hear your stories on fishing. Post and comment. Well, rate and comment this, and tell me some stories that you had. Video respond to me. I want to know what screwed up fishing trips you've had. Okay? See ya!